Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for this Sunday, June 30th, 2024. Once again, we're going to be coming to you live here talking about Hurricane Beryl, giving you the latest advisory as of 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Hurricane Beryl is now a major hurricane as we expected. It's now a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale with winds over 115 miles an hour. Still moving very fast at west at 21 miles an hour. And so it's continuing to move fast here as it continues to go through the central Atlantic. So those on the Windward Islands here, Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you need to be making last minute preparations because even though the hurricane force winds only extend out about 20 to 25 miles, there's a hurricane warning for Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenadines, Grenada, and Tobago. As I mentioned, Trinidad, you're in the clear. You might get a few breezy showers, tropical storm, but you're out. But it's mostly the island of Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, St. Lucia, and Barbados. Hurricane warnings in effect. As I mentioned, hurricane conditions are possible. Hurricane gusts are possible. And sustained winds could be possible as well. Like I said, it's Category 3, 115 mile an hour storm as of 8 a.m. The next advisory, intermediate advisory, comes out at 11 a.m. Full advisory comes out at 11 a.m. And it's undergone rapid intensification. This will continue through Sunday and Monday. They could get up to a Category 4 before it reaches the Windward Islands, and that's to be expected as it continues to bottom out. The system continues to bottom out here. As you can see here, has a very great structure, internal structure here. The deep dark reds, whites indicating highest cloud tops, the coldest cloud tops surrounding that eye there. Has a nice symmetrical pinhole eye, a little bit of CDO, central dense overcast in the eye, as you can see. But in this water vapor image, you can see a beautiful system here in this satellite image here, and it's continued to strengthen, expected to be a Category 4 before the day is out here. So we have this hurricane here coming in, Hurricane Beryl, and once again with this system, you can see that it has a tight eye wall. Now, there could be a couple of things going on here after Monday. We have to wait and see. It could be an eye wall replacement cycle. It could be, it reorganizing itself. Excuse me. Once it gets into the Caribbean basin and leaves the Windward Islands. However, for the Windward Islands, storm surge 6 to 9 feet, rainfall 3 to 6 inches across Barbados and the Windward Islands tonight and Monday. So, they're going to experience landslides, flooding rains, heavy winds, a lot of damaged trees, a lot of power lines down, and some structural damage because the gust of hurricane force up to 120 miles an hour is possible for some of these islands like Barbados, Grenada, especially Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. Okay, those 4 islands. If you're in Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad, you're in the clear. Tobago, you got a tropical storm warning, so you may experience some winds and rain, but nothing too heavy. But if you're north of there, if you're in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, St. Lucia, Barbados, even a little bit further north, Martinique and those islands like that. You want to be watching this system because it is going to bring some impacts to you outside of the cone, as you know. So once again, this is a Category 3. It's headed to a Category 4 here. Let me show you the cone. The cone has been maintained constantly. That means the subtropical ridge, the Bermuda High, the big highs up top are continuing to steer this westward, strong westward. And this, if it just continues to be a major hurricane, a stronger system into Wednesday and into Thursday, that means it's going to continue to stay further south. Now, Jamaica, you're still in the crosshairs, Cayman Islands, and also the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico later on in this forecast period. But like I said, it's, the further we go out, we know it's more uncertainty increases 5 or 6 days out with the models and everything. But the models are in pretty good agreement right now that it's going to be continuing heading west or due north of west or northwest as it continues to make its way toward the Windward Islands. And the worst of it for the Windward Islands, for Grenada, Barbados, will be around in the early morning hours. Unfortunately, it'll be dark when the system passes by, but it's going to take some time to pass by, but it's going to be moving pretty fast. As you can see, 2 a.m. Monday, it's still a couple hundred, about maybe 150 miles, 200 miles southeast of Barbados, right? And that's the furthermost east Windward Island. As we get to 2 p.m. Monday, it's already almost across the center of it anyway. It's already across the Windward Island. So the worst of it for this system is going to be for the Windward Islands, for Grenada, St. Vincent, Barbados, Tobago, Martinique, those islands down there. The worst of it is going to be between 9 a.m. Monday morning and 3 to 4 p.m. Monday afternoon. Okay, so basically you're going to have almost an all-day Monday event for you Once the system begins to pull away, conditions rapidly improve, probably by late Monday night, midnight into Tuesday morning. Obviously, the system will be pulled further enough away where you won't be feeling the effects. Now, the good news of Beryl is that it's a compact system. Once again, we're not talking about a big system that's hundreds of miles wide, like a Hurricane Sandy or anything like that, but it's very powerful. And these compact systems tend to be that way as it continues to go on. So you can see here on the satellite images, once again, I'm showing, for those just coming in, I'm talking about Hurricane Beryl. It is going to be a Category 4 by the end of the day. Don't be surprised. It's undergoing rapid intensification. Let me give you the definition of that according to the National Hurricane Center. It is an increase in the maximum sustained winds of a tropical cyclone of at least 30 knots in a 24-hour period. And we've been seeing that a lot with these storms. You remember last year we've had storms that bottomed out quickly, but this was unusual about Beryl, was that it's coming off the Cape Verde of Africa this soon in June and heading into July. We normally don't see the Cape Verde season kick up until, mid-August into mid-September and toward that peak of the hurricane season. But now we're getting these are flowing off the coast very rapidly here. And you can see here, I'll draw the frame here for you here. You can see it having rapid intensification, right? Frame it up, pause on the last frame for you here. Let's do that one more time here with this model. And you can see it rapidly intensifying here. The eye did wobble. The eye is still a little bit wobbly, as you can tell through this frame here, but it's still going to undergo rapid intensification. Now, here's what to expect heading into let me go back here. Let me just pause the frame here. Okay, heading into, I keep skipping here. Okay, there we go. Okay, heading into the future here, we're in Sunday night. So you can see I'm giving you the track here of the system. Now, two things to look out for. We have to look out for when we get into, once it pulls away from the Windward Islands. What you can expect, once again, in Barbados and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Martinique, you can expect hurricane force gusts. That means winds above 75 miles an hour for a period starting, as we're going to be on the north side, starting early Monday morning, sometime between 4 and 6 a.m. That's when you're going to be experiencing tropical storm force winds. That means sustained winds anywhere from 39 to 70 miles an hour, okay? The hurricane force winds and gusts are going to come as it approaches the channel here, coming sometime Monday right around 12 noon, Monday in the day, okay? That's when you can experience hurricane force gusts. Anywhere from 70 to 120 miles an hour or higher is going to be affecting these islands, specifically St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, as you will be on the eastern side of this eye wall here, and as well as Grenada, okay? So if you have interest in there, if you have friends down there, be careful because the winds are going to be elevated, especially in the hills and mountains. As you know, the winds increase as elevation increases. So there's a lot of hills and mountains on these islands like St. Lucia, Barbados, and so the winds are going to be increased or dramatically affected, rise in that as well. So you definitely can get gusts over 100, 110, 115 miles an hour and sustained winds around 70, 75, 80 miles an hour sustained, okay? But the good news is the system is moving fast. It's moving west at 21 miles an hour, and this is expected to continue, according to the Hurricane Center, all the way through Tuesday. So that it's going to be a quick 1-2 punch, but it is going to cause some damage and flooding for those islands down there. Now, if you're on the southern side, Tobago, Trinidad, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, you'll be just outside the cone, but you will get effects from this system. You will get some showers from the southern end of this system. You'll be on the weaker end, the western and southern end, so therefore you'll just get rain and some showers and maybe tropical storm force winds. But once again, I want to show you the wind field is only right now, hurricane force winds only extend out 15 miles from the center officially, and tropical storm force winds extend out 80 miles from the center. So it's a guarantee that everybody in this cone, everybody in this cone here is going to get tropical storm force winds, okay? But the hurricane force winds is going to be something to do with a direct hit here, okay? So you can look at the island, see the field of tropical storm force winds. It's 80 miles out from the center. Those hurricane force winds that are 115 miles an hour or greater are only 15 miles out from the center, shaded in red. So as the system progresses, it may wobble a bit, but right now it looks like Barbados, you would definitely get tropical storm force winds between 39 and 79 and 73. But the hurricane force winds is going to be a hit or miss, a very pinhole thing, unless the wind field expands when it becomes a Category 4 later today. We have yet to see that. That's a good news for the system. It's only 15 miles from either side of the eye that we have those extreme winds of 115 miles an hour or greater. So that's the good news. And the tropical storm force winds, you can expect that to expand. Obviously, it's going to expand to 100 miles or greater as the system continues to get better organized and strengthened. So this is what we're looking at here. Now, it's possible that the worst of the winds, if I'm using this plot here, could be somewhere between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. It could split the hairs. So anybody on the north and east side of that is going to get that core of the system, and it's going to be sustained from about 10 a.m. Monday morning all the way to about 4, 5, 6 p.m. Monday afternoon. That's to be the worst of it coming in there. Pressure dropping, winds above 115 miles an hour. Like I said, the good news is the system is moving extremely fast west at 21 miles an hour. That motion is expected to continue to be faster up until Tuesday. Now, Tuesday into Wednesday, this is the critical point. Does that ridge break down up north? Okay, if the ridge breaks down up north, they're steering the system right now, the high pressure ridge. And that means it's going to either slow down and it's going to take more of a northerly jog, which we would hope for, north of Jamaica and north into the Hispaniola and into these eastern high mountains of Cuba. If it's a stronger system, it's going to stay further south, okay, south of Jamaica, Cayman Islands, south of Hispaniola, okay, and it's going to be heading more toward the Yucatan, Mexico Peninsula. Now, there's a second ridge that they allude to, the Hurricane Center alludes to in their forecast period. If that comes to be, then it will continue northwestward into the Bay of Campeche. Now, if both ridges break down, there's a chance that this thing can go up into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where things can get very dicey, because you can see, obviously we've had storms last year that curve up into the Panhandle, or it could be anywhere from the Panhandle to Louisiana or westward. It all depends on the atmospheric conditions during day 6 and day 5, which is very uncertain, because the ridge, even though it's strong now, it could break down. Or the ridge could move over to the east or to the west, and that can slow this system down. So far, things are moving fast. This thing is moving west at 21 miles an hour, which is very fast, and is maintaining this structure here, as you can see. Just tremendous structure here, and it will continue to be a Category 4 by the end of the day. Now, looking elsewhere, let's get you taking the national view here, the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico. We have the two systems behind it here. This system behind it is expected to become a tropical storm. Now, I don't know how much upwelling is going to affect this system behind it here, as you can see at 40 latitude west here. But it's possible that this next system here could be a tropical storm. It's been given the chance of development by the National Hurricane Center here, about 40%, and then 70% in the 7-day period. So this could be our next named storm here. Also over here in the Bay of Campeche, 50% chance of development. Now, this Bay of Campeche one is struggling because it's dealing with some wind shear, some southeasterly wind shear, and also it's just too close to the coast to get anything developed. But nevertheless, Mexico and southern Texas should watch this for development. Brownsville, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, McAllen, stuff like that in northern Mexico, because this system could provide some heavy rainfall for you regardless of what happens with it. A short-lived tropical depression could form as it moves over Mexico, and then so monitor that as well. Now, this system here is going to be our next C-named storm, which is going to be on the Hurricane Center's watch. This should be probably coming in, I would say probably about Wednesday or Thursday. We'll be looking at a tropical storm here out of this one as it comes across the Atlantic. But you see how far south latitude that is. This is south, even further south than Beryl, but it is going to forecast to develop and start turning, making that westward northwestward turn as Beryl did way out here doing this early in the hurricane season. So there's something to look forward to later on. But Beryl is right now is where our focus is. I want to go back to the forecast discussion, and I want to show you something else that is very interesting with Beryl. Is that the core has solidified, and also this system as it continues on. Now, the maximum strength they have it here is around 130 miles an hour. I would bump this up. This is kind of conservative. I think the maximum winds out of Beryl by Tuesday will be around 145 miles an hour. That's on 36 hours from now. I have mine at 145 miles an hour as it goes through the central Caribbean here. I'm going to show you the chart one more time here, the cone. So I have Beryl right here when it pulls away from the Windward Islands here. 2 p.m. Tuesday as a 145 mile an hour storm, Category 4, extremely dangerous, on 2 p.m. Tuesday. Now, I probably will go through a replacement cycle, eyewall replacement cycle, sometime in early Tuesday morning right here. And then by then it'll be reorganized just south of Hispaniola, just south of Dominican Republic and Haiti, maybe 200 odd miles, 300 miles south. And that's when it's going to be 145 mile an hour, Cat 4. It's already going to be a Cat 4 today, but once it goes through the island, some weakening is going to happen here, but not a whole lot. Like I said, some weakening, some fluctuation in intensity is always the case with these major hurricanes, as you know. So that's what we're going to have. Now, the bigger concern is like I said, once we get into Wednesday, what kind of effect does the wind field expand? We know the tropical storm wind field is going to expand, but does the hurricane force wind field expand? Right now, it's only at 15 miles from either side of the eye that we have those extreme hurricane winds of above 115 miles an hour. But if we get into Tuesday and Wednesday and we have hurricane force winds extending out 40, 50 miles and tropical storm force winds extending out, 150 miles, then we got a real big problem for Haiti, the mountains of Haiti, the mountains of Dominican Republic, the mountains of Jamaica, the Blue Mountains. We could have a flooding situation, landslides, and also extreme storm surge that could be coming into some of these places here if the system, tracks south and to the east of there after it passes by, say on Thursday. If this forecast track holds up, if it holds up the way we think it's going to hold up, according to everybody. The next advisory comes out, ladies and gentlemen, at 11 a.m. and this is just an intermediate advisory at 8. The full advisory comes out at 11 a.m. and what I'm expecting for that is I'm expecting this system to be even further strengthening. Winds could possibly be up to 135, 140. 135 or somewhere around there, 135, they'll round it up, okay? And then the movement, I expect the movement to continue west or northwest at around 18 or 21 miles an hour. It's still going to continue that because it's influenced by a strong subtropical ridge, high pressure, the Bermuda High, basically, and then there's a high over the United States of America. So that's what I want to show you. Now, we also have Invest 94L. This is the one I was showing you in the Bay of Campeche off of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. And you can see here we have clusters of thunderstorm, a lot of extreme convection here in the south and east quadrants, but in the northwest quadrant you can see it's being invaded by that strong southwesterly wind shear that's breaking it apart. And then you also have the wind shear coming up top it on the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's what's causing it to the Hurricane Center to not give it so strong of a confidence here. This is going to eventually go into Mexico. It doesn't have much real estate to work with. This is probably churning. The center of this is only churning maybe about a good 50 to 70 miles off the coast, so it's not very far from the coast of Mexico. This is going to come back into the Mexican Peninsula and the Bay of Campeche, make landfall sometime, in the next couple of days here, and that'll be the end of that. So it may become a tropical depression. It may get a name briefly. I don't think so. It just become a tropical depression and going inland, and that's the end of that system there. And so any questions you have, please leave them in the comments for this system. Once again, Major Hurricane Beryl is expected to bring damaging winds to these 4 islands: Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, as well as Tobago. Those are the 4 islands that are going to be very, very hit hard by this system once again. And they have it here, Windward Islands. And this is all starting, ladies and gentlemen, early Monday morning. So by 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, coming up soon, you're going to be experiencing those tropical storm force winds. And then some of you guys, only those in that 15-mile zone, depending on how close it gets, is going to be experiencing those hurricane force winds above 120 miles an hour. And that's right around that eye, the eye wall, in that northeast quadrant, this band right here that's going to be coming in shortly here later on in the morning. You can see its progression here. You can see that the system here is well formed in all quadrants. Thunderstorms, convections wrapping tight around the center, and it's a compact system. The good news, like I said, in our favor is the system is moving very fast west at 21 knots, 21 miles an hour, and also the system is compact. It's not a huge system. You can see here they discussed that here in the public advisory. They're saying that the tropical storm force winds extend out only 80 miles from the center, hurricane force winds 15 miles for the center. But like I said, expect that wind field to expand, and that's going to expand coming up after it passes the Windward Islands Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's when the wind field here is going to expand. Hurricane force, when it goes through an eye wall replacement cycle, the hurricane force winds may get up to expand outwards of 40 miles, right? And then the tropical storm force winds definitely are going above 100 miles, expanding out once the system reorganizes as it passes the Windward Islands. Now, tropical storm conditions, we have the warnings, we have the storm surge here, 6 to 9 feet for those, and rainfall. Those are the big things that we're going to look for as it passes the Windward Islands. Now, there will be some damages. Once again, I have to outline the damages here for you for these islands here. For the islands of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia right here, Tobago right here. You can expect power line to go out. You can expect trees down. You can expect some roofs taken off some of these buildings here, housing and structures, as you get these 100-mile-an-hour winds in that 15. Whoever gets the 15-mile wide hurricane force wind zone for right now. Now, that's what we have going on right here. And you can expect seas to be swelled already coming in. These seas from the southeast coming in, swells coming in constantly. So it's not a good time for boating or fishing or anything like that. You want to secure your moorings, secure all your things today. Today's the last day as the system bears down on you for these islands right here. Now, there's a chance that if this 15, there's a chance that it can miss like the main island of St. Vincent and hit this like the Grenadines, some of these lesser populated islands. That'd be a blessing in disguise, as it only is a 15-mile-an-hour zone where the hurricane force winds are for right now. That'd be a blessing in disguise, and not hit Grenada directly. Now, since St. Lucia will be on the northern end of this thing, they'll most likely get a lot of that breeze coming in from the northeast, sustained tropical storm winds coming in. Everybody would get breezes coming in from the northeast, sustained winds as the system passes by, anywhere from 30 to 70 miles an hour with gusts up to 110, 100 as appropriately. Okay, so that means hurricane conditions are possible all day for mostly Monday. The worst of it will be, once again, I'm just reiterating for those just coming in, the worst of it will be between, for the islands, the Windward Islands included, will be from 4 a.m. Monday to about noon to 1:30 p.m. local time Monday. After that, the system will begin to pull away, and conditions will rapidly improve. Conditions will begin to rapidly improve by late Monday evening, say about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Monday. By nightfall, as the system pulls away, conditions will improve. You'll get more breezes, southerly breezes, and westerly breezes, and things will be back to normal, as far as normal can be. So this is the latest on Hurricane Beryl. Once again, the confidence is increasing, that one of these islands in here, between the way they have this cone, okay, we'll take the center of it. The center of this storm is going to pass somewhere between the Grenadines, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. It's possible that either Grenada or St. Vincent and the Grenadines will take almost a direct hit from this system, as far as the hurricane winds are concerned. And they will be on that eastern side of the eye wall for the longest, somewhere between noon on Monday and 2 p.m. on Monday. That'll be the worst of it for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. They will take the direct hit brunt of it. St. Lucia, you'll be on the north side of the eye wall. So, yes, it'll be windy, it'll be breezy, and you'll be on the eastern side, the dirty side. But for the most part, that's it. Barbados, you will take the brunt of it too, because the system is coming into your angle at an angle from the east. And so you will take the brunt of it as well. Tobago, even though hurricane warnings are for you, yes, you'll be on the southern side, so you're going to get some hurricane force winds and gusts, but by and large, this is going to be a tropical storm thing for you, because it's a small island, and the system is moving very fast, so it'll be past your area pretty fast here if this movement holds up, this west at 21 miles an hour movement. So looking at the structure here, you can see that most of the heavy thunderstorms are all around the center. This is what you like to see. This is a classic presentation. Some of the outer feeder bands is in training, a little bit of that a little bit of the dry air to the north, but that's not a problem with a major hurricane like this. Is a mature hurricane. They can handle dry air on the fringes of it. It's not going to be a big deal. This is going to go to a category 4. Like I said, 145 mile an hour winds expected probably by tomorrow. So don't be surprised if it becomes a Cat 4, a major Cat 4, as we go through Sunday and into Monday morning. And like I said, so this is what we have going on. I just wanted to bring you that complete update of this system right now at 8 a.m. I'll be back on later today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please be sure to subscribe to the Weather Guru for the latest updates on Hurricane Beryl. I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much. And let me know if you have any individual questions for your individual area that may be affected in the Windward Islands as we continue to monitor Hurricane Beryl together. Thank you very much. Take care.